amendment to the order of business which has been tabled. I think it's farcical at this stage that we're still in a situation where the Seanad is holding up the banking inquiry because of a mistake that was made by the government. And the government should just put their hands up and accept that they made a mistake, that their people didn't turn up for a meeting that they should have turned up to, and that the government are now seeking to overturn a democratic decision of a committee of the Houses of the Oireachtas, and in so doing are holding up an important inquiry into the banking crisis that we had in this state. The situation that we have at the moment in relation to the holding up of that inquiry has nothing to do with Fianna Fáil, has nothing to do with the independents, has nothing to do with Sinn Féin, and is the clear responsibility of the two government parties over there who made a mess of this themselves. And I think the Taoiseach yesterday let the cat out of the bag when he said this was about ensuring the government has a majority. That was never meant to be the intention of the banking inquiry. And what he did was let the cat out of the bag and has created an even bigger hole now for the government. So I would support the amendment to the order of business that the Taoiseach would come in and account for himself and account for what he said, because if we end up with a partisan banking inquiry, it is not going to have the confidence and the support of the people outside this chamber. I would argue that the vast majority of citizens are not interested in which groupings have a majority on the inquiry. They want the politicians to get down to the business of doing the work of the inquiry itself, and that should happen as quickly as possible. So maybe now the leader can take the opportunity this morning to outline to us what is happening, why is this still being held up, and is he going to proceed? And the final point I'll make on this is that it's a bit ironic that these two committees which have messed up are one of the few committees that Sinn Féin is not represented on. In fact, we were excluded from the Committee on Selection and we were excluded from the CPP because of rules made up by government parties in relation to group sizes and so on. So this is entirely your own making, Leader, and the making of your own members. Sort it out as quickly as possible and let's get the banking inquiry up and running, which is in all of our interests.
Senator Keane.